Hi, Stargazers. This is Weekly Horoscope with Arik Xander. This week is the end of Pisces season, the beginning of Aries season, and basically we can say there's one message this week, and that is warmth is a choice. Spring is arriving in the Northern Hemisphere, and the weather is shifting, but the calendar changing doesn't mean that we are necessarily changing with it. So, looking at the chart, we are seeing a lot of energy of rebirth. New things are coming. But of course, we need to look at what is ending, what is coming into a closure, what is going cold. Winter was cold, it is cold. And when I'm talking about warmth and coldness, it's not only about the degrees. It's not just about how warm is it, how cold is it. It's not just about temperature. We have warmth in our hearts. We can, God forbid, have coldness in our hearts. What is making us warm is an energy that is beyond like what we even understand. It's like it's a presence. It's the divine. Maybe you know somebody in your life, like they're cold to you, or they're giving you the cold shoulder, or it's like you're hitting a wall. That's more or less the same thing. There's no love, there's no presence, there's no connection, there's no dignity. You need connection to have warmth. Even with electricity, like, you want there to be light, there needs to be a connection. If there's no connection, there's not going to be any light and there's not going to be any warmth. This week is all about that. It's that threshold between winter or our inner winter and the astrological new year, which begins on Aries, which is a fire sign. We are also having the new moon that in Pisces, which is about setting intentions at the end of the cycle. Mercury is finally going to go direct, and the cosmic reset button is being pressed. So there's a lot, but none of that matters if we are walking into this being like a cold fish, being cold in our hearts. If we are reactive, if we are judging, if we're bringing our patterns back and again, if we're withholding, if we're choosing our ego over connecting with others, that's not what this is about. Such an important week. I am offering so many different events this week for anybody who feels that they need it. New moon, astrological new year, the 12 days of Aries, Aries season. We're building up into a major energy. We do not want to walk into that like unprepared. So this week is asking, will we bring warmth into what's coming next in our life? It's not about hope. It's not about affirmations. It's not about any of that. It's about, are we going to be open-hearted? Are we going to be warm? The kind that comes from actually choosing to connect with others, sharing instead of hoarding, connecting instead of performing, to be kind when it might cost us something. So the end of the zodiac, all the lessons since the last equinox, like the last March equinox, it's all being looked at again. It's all being looked at. All of the work, all the things we did do that we didn't do, that is the work this week. And the transits this week are practically designing the curriculum for that growth. So I'll say it again because the timing is real. This Thursday is the new moon. I'm having a new moon intention setting virtual ritual. And if there was ever a week to do this instead of alone, it is this week. It is this week. It's the last new moon before the astrological new year. Please come if it calls you. And then on Friday, 2 things are launching at once: Aries season, healing workshop, and the Astrological New Year 12 days event. 12 days to cover the 12 archetypes, the quantum level of each month, one full cycle of conscious intention. And this is the most potent window of the entire year to set the tone for everything that's coming ahead. And so they're all there if they resonate. Let's look at the transits for this week. Looking at the chart, very interesting. On Sunday, Mars is rubbing up against Chiron, even from the day before. So that's old frustrations leaking into the morning. And then Mercury is going to align with Mars. Okay, this is happening in Pisces. Communication might be getting a little bit intense. Here's what this actually looks like. All right, so we wake up already a little bit irritated, and then someone says the wrong thing and we want to go off. What am I saying? Don't go off. Forces do not work in the water. It's going to create, turbulence, like choppy waters, ripples. It's going to disturb the flow. If we send an angry text, we're going to regret it. If we try to win the argument, we might lose the relationship. Mercury also is going to make an aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer. So old communication wounds are going to come online. Maybe it's the thing someone said 6 months ago that we never addressed. Maybe it's the way we always explain ourselves to people who are not really listening to us. The move today, like on Sunday, is very simple. Don't send it. Don't send it. Journal it, walk it off, exercise, whatever. Talk to the mirror if you have to. Just go into process with it. It is not the day to send it. Because the next day, March 16th, the sun is going to connect to Pluto through a very spiritual aspect called the septile. A lot of astrologers don't work with that, but I do. And it is very subtle aspect, but because Pluto's involved, it's kind of intense. We might not feel the earthquake, but there will be one. There's going to be dynamics that are humming under the surface at work, in the home, in our relationships. We think things are fine, but they are not, okay? But they are not. This is the day where kind of like the passive aggressive emails are going to get sent. Maybe you're going to send it, maybe you're going to receive one. So, where we keep the score without admitting it, that's going to come up. Maybe it'll be delivered to you as well. It's also where we are withholding love to maintain control in our relationship. So the move today on Monday is just the best way to break out of that is do one generous thing nobody will see. Just be anonymous about it. Not for the story, not for the post, not, for anybody else to see, not to get praised. Just do it. Buy the coffee, send the kind text, forgive the thing that was never apologized for. This is the sacrifice the week is asking for. Not suffering, just letting go of that coldness. And it's amazing because you're going to accumulate some like good energy, but don't do it because of that, because then it'll cancel it out. So you want to have like a pure intention about this. You just do it. Tuesday, March 17th. Venus is going to be aspecting with planet Uranus. There could be some curveballs in love, money, finances, maybe like attraction levels, even. Someone unexpected is going to reach out. Something we thought we wanted suddenly feels wrong. A relationship dynamic might shift and there will be no warning. That's Uranus. Do not panic. Do not impulsively use your money and like buy things to like push it away. Later on that day, Mercury is going to align with the North Node, and it's going to be a very big mental breakthrough. The things that we've been trying to figure out, maybe even for weeks, about relationships, our careers, the moves that we want to make, patterns that keep repeating, it's going to all click. Like it's going to click into place like the Rubik's Cube. This is Mercury's last major gift before going direct. So write it down. Whatever insight lands, capture it. Tell a friend. Voice memo it. Conversations are going to carry more weight than usual today. And the words we choose matter more than they think we do. Wednesday, March 18th, Venus is going to be making a square to Jupiter, and this is the eyes are bigger than the stomach day. We might agree to like 3 different plans that we cannot keep. We might add to cart at midnight because it feels like abundance, but you know what? It's actually avoidance. We might say yes to something that sounds expansive, but it's just a big burden in the end. Real abundance is going to circulate, but hoarding disguised as treating ourselves is still hoarding. So, before clicking, swiping, or committing, just pause. Is it generosity or is it greed? In a nice outfit? Okay. Also, on Wednesdays, the sun is going to be making an aspect to Uranus, and there's going to be some very good creative energy. So it's a great day to brainstorm, rearrange your space, cook something you've never tried, start that side project. Break one routine on Wednesday, even a small one. Moving into Thursday, the new moon lands in Pisces. This is the final exhale before the astrological new year. So this is the day to clean out the closet, delete whatever is draining you, the bloatware, cancel the subscriptions that you're not using or the memberships. Just get rid of them. Have that conversation you've been putting off. Pisces wants to dissolve what's done. And what's done is done. If we keep dragging dead weight into this new cycle, the new cycle is just going to become the old one with like a bad coat of paint on it. That fire of Aries means nothing if the heart entering it is still frozen. So, write down what's over, a relationship pattern, a work habit, whatever, like a self-talk loop, name it, then let it go. It doesn't have to be like, incense and candles. It can be a sticky note, whatever. It's about the intention. Be focused about it. And like I said, I'm offering virtual ritual to help us all through that. Friday, dun 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 dun, astrological new year. This is the March equinox. The sun moves into Aries. Mercury on the same day goes direct. What are the odds? This is the cosmic reset, and the retrograde kind of fog starts to lift. This all happens on the same day. Everything we've been untangling for the past 3 weeks begins to clarify. But do not sprint. Please listen. Mercury direct does not mean that everything is making sense now. Today, like Friday, is the ignition. It's not the highway. We're also going to have Venus aspecting Pluto, and there's a creative, transformative pulse running underneath. So it's not like, we need to set one real intention, not a resolution, not a vision board, one thing, something that requires us to be warmer, braver, and more honest than the last astrological year, which was from March to March. Say it out loud, write it down. That's going to be the seed of the Aries fire, and it comes, if it's going to come from the ego, it's going to burn and exhaust fast. But if it's coming from something real, it's going to be a slow burning, sustaining energy force for you. Saturday, the last day of the week, there's a lot of aspects that are closing out the week. Venus, Mercury, Mars are all forming what's called completion aspects with Uranus, Pluto, Chiron, and even the North Node. And so this is about like finishing what's been running in the background. Again, those conversations that they start but they don't end, or like they don't complete. Maybe they you stop talking but they don't complete. Or a project that's like it's 99% done, it's going to get a final push. So the pattern that we've been working on, the project or whatever it is, whatever we feel like we haven't really been able to admit that it's not ready yet, finish the thing. Don't start anything new, just finish. Close the tabs, have the last word with yourself, not with the other. Completion is the most underrated form of power, and it's the warmest way to walk into a new year. Okay? Very good. Now let's go over the horoscopes by sign, and please remember there's in-depth horoscopes on arikxander.com by category for the week, for the month, for the year. But I just want to, drop a few lines for each sign here for anyone listening, like for their sign. Let's begin with Pisces because we're technically still in your season. Pisces, this week is about your identity, your permission. Design the next version of yourself consciously. Avoid dissolving into everyone else's version of who they think you should be. Aries, it's new beginnings. We're going into your season. It's all about permission, starting fresh without performing. Avoid rushing into the new year on impulse. Taurus, it's all about release. I want you to let the old comfort go and to avoid holding on to what's familiar just because it's safe. Gemini, it's all about your mental clarity. Trust the insight that is landing this week. And do not overthink your breakthroughs. You're just going to build the walls back up. Cancer, huge career shifts. Things are being reorganized. Allow yourself to be ambitious with warmth and care, not by being cold. Do not people please, people at work to avoid confrontation. You can confront with the warmness. You can do it. If anybody can, you can. Leo, it's all about expansion. Please dream bigger, but stay grounded. Stay grounded with your dreams and avoid confusing attention with alignment. Virgo, this is about relationships or partnerships even. Have the honest conversation this week. Avoid editing feelings until they're disappearing. It's not going to be effective. Libra, it's about your daily rituals. Simplify everything this week. And do not, I repeat, do not overcommit because it looks balanced. Scorpio, Your creative power is being activated this week. Channel your intensity into something beautiful and avoid testing people to see if they're going to stay loyal. Sagittarius, this is about home and your roots this week. Sit still long enough to feel something and avoid booking that flight instead of having the conversation. Capricorn, it's about communication. Say what's real, not what is strategic. And avoid withholding warmth to maintain this idea or perception of authority. And finally, Aquarius, this is about your self-worth. Receive without deflecting. Just receive it. And you do not need to convince yourself that you don't need what you clearly need. Beautiful, you guys. Thank you so much. Please feel free to share this with anyone in your reality that you think needs it. Have a wonderful week and new year, and let me know how it's going for you. I'd be very curious. Bye. Thank you.